Hello, this is sports handicapper Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review, and I am here with your MLB overnight lines for the games taking place on Sunday, May the 29th. Unfortunately, later this afternoon, I have somewhere I have to be, so I am recording this video earlier than I usually do. What does that mean? Well, it means we have no overnight lines as of this recording to talk about specifically. But we're still going to look at the games from a betting perspective, a few of these games for Sunday, and still be able to give you some just basically put you in the right direction in terms of where I'm leaning with the games on Sunday, even though we don't have any lines to actually look at as of this moment. But still, let's take a look at some of these games for Sunday. Let's start with St. Louis taking on Washington, a big National League series taking place there this weekend. And we're going to talk about a guy that we've talked about quite a bit in previous overnight lines videos. I'm talking about Stephen Strasburg. I mean, the guy has been fantastic. The Nationals are a perfect 10-0 in his starts this season, and that isn't by accident. He's totally revitalized himself. We're talking about a guy that's battled consistency, that's had a difficult time, a horrible time, in fact, staying on the field and staying healthy. Multiple stints on the DL, but finally he's healthy and he's pitching like it. I mean, he's been great. A 2.79 ERA this season. How about 86 strikeouts and just 54 hits allowed in 67 innings this season? That is just that's fantastic. I mean, when you have 86 strikeouts to just 54 hits, that tells you just how filthy your arsenal is right now, and that's the way it is for Stephen Strasburg. So far here in 2016, his track record against St. Louis, he's held them to 3 runs or less in 5 previous starts against them. Nationals got the win 5-4 over St. Louis earlier this season at Busch Stadium with Strasburg on the mound, allowed just 2 runs in 7 innings in that start. So I think he's got the chance to come right back here and pitch another good game. On the flip side, you got Michael Wacha, and it's been a rocky season for him. Not the season the Cardinals were hoping for sure, from a guy that they projected could be the ace of this team this year, but he's got a 5.04 ERA. He's been much worse even in the shorter term with 21 runs allowed on 24 hits and just 12 innings of work over his last 3 starts against the Dodgers, Rockies, and Cubs. He's really been laboring in a lot of his starts, averaging over 17 pitches per inning in his last 4 starts and over 20 pitches per inning in his last 3 starts. So he's laboring. He's involved in a lot of stressful innings, and it's definitely been a problem for Michael Wacha. His swinging strike rate has also gone down quite a bit, 9.5% last year, 7.6% so far in 2016. He's not inducing as many swings and misses. You know, Washington's been just absolutely unbeatable so far with Stephen Strasburg on the mound. I would look to Washington in this game. If they are minus 150 or lower than that on the money line, I'd lay the money line price with them. If Washington comes out higher than minus 150 on the money line, I'd take the run line, minus 1.5 runs, and take a shot at a decent plus price that maybe the Nationals can win this game by 2 runs or more, because they're definitely, in my opinion, a team that you either have to bet on or leave it alone when Strasburg is on the mound. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Washington 10-0 in his starts this season. So I'd look to the Nationals in some form in that game. Let's talk about Baltimore and Cleveland. Chris Tillman. We've talked about him before. A guy that's probably one of the most improved players in Major League Baseball this year after a rough year in 2015. He's got a 2.61 ERA this season. Baltimore's 8-2 in his 10 starts. He's been even better in his last 3 starts, allowing just 4 runs in 20 innings. And should keep it going here against Cleveland because he has a very good track record against the Indians. Faced them twice last year, allowed just 2 runs in 13.1 innings against Cleveland. Baltimore won both of those games. And on the other side of this pitching matchup, we've got Michael Clevinger for the Indians. We talked about him earlier in this week. We cashed an over ticket in Michael Clevinger's last start against the White Sox when he was matched up against Matt Latos, an easy over the total winner there. And Michael Clevinger to me is what he is. He's toiled in the minors for years for a reason. He's just not got major league level stuff, in my opinion. He's a spot starter at best here for this Cleveland rotation, and that's why he's in this rotation at all. And he showed that he just doesn't have a lot of staying power, I think, to stay in this rotation long term. He's allowed 10 runs in 10.1 innings of his first 2 spot starts against the White Sox and Reds. Baltimore's lineup certainly has the capability to be trouble for Michael Clevinger, and he's not likely to pitch deep into this game. He hasn't pitched past 6 innings in either of his first 2 starts. So Cleveland's very mediocre, and suspect middle relief is likely to get some work in this game, and that could be trouble for the Indians. Baltimore, to me, is going to be worth a bet in this game. We'll see where the money line price comes out, but I'd look to the Orioles in that game to get the win over the Indians. They should have an edge with Chris Tillman, the way he's been pitching over Michael Clevenger. Let's take a look at a couple other games too, quick hitter style. Velasquez against Lackey, Phillies and Cubs. Again, you're going to get good value with a decent young arm in Velasquez in that game, but hard to go against the Cubs when they're such the better of those two teams. So maybe we'll lean to the Phillies to maybe pull a shocker there, but it's not a bet I'm overly in love with by any stretch. You got Chris Sale against Edinson Volquez, and Chris Sale is looking to bounce back from a rare little bit of a rough outing last time against Cleveland. So we'll see if he can do that there. He should have a good chance to bounce back against Kansas City. Edinson Volquez has been a little bit more shaky in recent starts. Maybe you look to back the White Sox in some form there. And then we'll talk about Sunday Night Baseball, Dodgers and Mets, to wrap up the weekend on Sunday Night Baseball. Kershaw against Bartolo Colon. Really, it's hard to make a case for any team against the LA Dodgers when Clayton Kershaw is on the mound, because he's been that good. They're 9-1 in his 10 starts this year. His road numbers have been every bit as good as his home numbers, if not better. And he's probably going to have the edge here. Unfortunately, you're probably not going to get a tremendous price here with the LA Dodgers in this game, but it's at the point where regardless of what the price is, it is almost impossible to go against the Dodgers with Clayton Kershaw on the mound. He is completely locked in right now. Not a pitcher I'm looking to bet against, even though he is commanding the lofty prices that he is so far this season. So it'll be interesting to see how the Mets fare. Again, Bartolo Colon's crafty. I know he's older. He's obviously a big guy. We all know that about his weight, but and he's capable of keeping the team in it. But I just have no interest, zero, in going against the Dodgers right now with Clayton Kershaw on the mound, given the form that he's put on display so far in the 2016 season. All right, that's going to wrap it up. That's my look at MLB overnight lines for the games on Sunday, May the 29th. I'm sports handicapper Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. Check out the website, sportsbookreview.com, every single day, live odds, daily articles, and videos to fill your sports betting needs. Until next time, enjoy the games and good luck.